Hey RC enthusiasts, I want to show you a AX10 Scorpion, an axial, that's got a 56 Fastlane body on it, and it's really a trip, man. I might have to put the heavier shocks on it now that I've got the body on it, because the body is quite heavy now. Definitely add some weight to it. Made a light bar from aluminum extrusion and some cell cast acrylic, some optically clear cell cast acrylic. Put it on there with some standoffs, rubber washers. I want to show you how the shell is attached, so when the vehicle rolls over, it won't crush the shell and destroy it and just beat it to hell. Right now it's stuck down with double stick foam tape, which will probably just stay there because it seems to work really good. You can see I've got the wire fish through. Got little holes drilled in it to make it light. It's attached to aluminum angles and then attached to these rub rails which come off. So all you got to do is pull the pins and you can take the body off. But the body is so big you can reach in and around it. It's probably not going to be something that needs to come off a lot. Right here is a 3S LiPo, which I've got just temporarily wired in with a Dean's here. And just to test it out and show you how bright it is. It's pretty darn bright. Looks pretty spiffy. Let's turn off some lights so you can get an idea of just how bright this thing is. Go ahead and turn off all the shop lights. It's a long night. Okay, so I don't know how well green shows up with this camera. Red shows up really good. But in terms of my eyes being able to see, like if I was driving at night, works pretty good. Makes the flames really stick out on the hood pretty good. I checked out an ultraviolet, a blue, and a red. Those are the colors that I just happen to have. I have green, blue, red, ultraviolet. I had no white. So I had to choose. The ultraviolet made these flames really go crazy, but you couldn't see with it. You couldn't see a thing. With this, I don't know, the camera's not picking it up, but I can see really good. And these are from superbrightleds.com. It's a SMD strip of high intensity output green. Back in the day when I was modding computers and stuff. Let's turn the lights back on. I think it's going to work pretty good. Looks pretty cool. I like the Lexan crash thing. What I've done is I've heat formed it to the curve of the roof, and then there's also the little bit of foam tape there to help protect it from getting beat. So when it takes a dump upside down, it won't be so bad, you know. I'm not too worried about the sides because I've got wheel wideners on this, and so the wheels are just about as wide as the side of the body. So when it's on its side, I should put some more lights on. You guys probably can't see a damn thing. Oh, like I said, long night. Alright, so anyway. So, because the wheels are nice, the wheelbase is really wide, I put Red Cat hexes on here that I ground down because they fit these wideners better. And just to show you how everything works, if I do it upside down, you can really see it pretty easily. There's the articulation. It starts rubbing the inside of the body about this much before the shock totally bottoms out. So what I'm thinking of doing is either putting the big shocks back on, because now it's got so much weight it may not be happy with these little wimpy shocks anymore. So I may put the big shocks back on, and that'll jack it up just a touch more and make it a lot stiffer, so that it'll be less likely that this, you know, this is great for really limp, loose crawling, but for a big heavy shell I think it's going to make it too floppy. So when I get a chance, I'll put the big shocks back on it. I just wanted to show you that it actually does work. It's pretty crazy, but you know, it just rubs right at this point, and that's right where the shock's about to bottom out. So if I had just a little more, I could get it right like that. I didn't want to put the body on too tall because I was thinking I'm probably going to have to put the taller shocks on, and those shocks are taller than these with the spacers. So I'm laying around here somewhere. I don't know. I will find them later. So anyway, let's flip it back over. Pretty neat shell. The idea was to ruggedize it, make it so that it was cool, looked like a car. See, with the loose shocks and the low ride, it really gets down. It looks like a car, you know. But it's still capable. It can get up and boogie, you know, and do its thing. And it's got a fair amount of articulation. Pretty crazy. I like how the wheel goes all the way in, so it just barely covers. That's so different than a lot of the crawler bodies I've seen. Most of the crawler bodies I've seen are extra small, or they're cut away to the point where you don't have a whole lot of car left. You just kind of have a few features, a few details to let you remember what it was before you chop the hell out of it. Like on my Nomad, you know, I cut away a lot of it. The whole interesting parts disappeared to make room for articulation. But with this, I'm going to go more for looks, and then we'll adjust it as we need to. But I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not going to give it a name or anything. That's my son's job. I'm just calling it John's AX. So when he gets up on his birthday, he can give it a cool name, and he may even want to paint it. You know, he's been talking about wanting a cream-colored car with a brown stripe down the center, and that's what he really wants. But you know, I think he'll be really happy with this, and I talked to him about it, and I mentioned that, you know, it's not. I didn't tell him what color it was. I didn't tell him anything about it. I said, it's just not what you think it is. But we can make it whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. This will be nice. You'll have fun with that.